7th place finish in race 1. He served his back at a grid penalty. He now starts 8th on the grid. So if he displays anything close to the pace.
The rider of the race that didn't finish on the podium from P28 to P8 is just incredible. So we'll see what he's capable of now that he's starting in the 3rd row. Here we do have the championship standings there. Uriarte ahead of Salmela, Zani and Esteban. Really interesting as well whether that first race was an inflection point or indeed our previous race in Magny Cours, because we've seen 2 different riders winning for the first time, and the question is Uriarte's reign coming to an end? Well, it'd be a very, very difficult decision to make if you had to make that call, because Uriarte is obviously one of the talents of this incredible generation.
I wouldn't put the mortgage on it.
No.
That's how I feel. It's been 2 races without a win, indeed 2 races without a podium for Uriarte, but he has been there and thereabouts at the lead. Magny Cours crashed out of the lead, led this morning. You'd imagine he will certainly lead at some point in this one. He's hungry for revenge, you'd have to say. So, Uriarte, the 51, keep an eye on him on the left-hand side of your screen as we get ready to go for race 2 here. Plenty of talent on that front row, plenty of talent on that second row as well. On that second row was your race 1 winner, Leonardo Zani, Casey O'Gorman on the podium, Marco Morelli. The Argentinian is a fast rider when he gets going as well, the young rookie. So let's keep an eye out as we get ready to go racing for the final time in Aragon in the JuniorGP Championship 2025. And away we go. It's going to be Brian Uriarte who launches from pole position. Has he got the dream launch? Jesus Rios has got a very good launch, as has Rico Salmela. It looks like Salmela is going to have the inside line, but it's Rios who takes the whole shot. Uriarte has been shuffled down to 3rd position already by the opening corner. Brilliant start from Marco Morelli as well. He's up into 4th position. So super stuff. And Brian Uriarte is going the wrong way here.
I can only imagine that everyone in that UAX 72 Art box is going to be shouting and shouting. They're going to be so frustrated that Brian this time hasn't got away as well as he would have liked, just like last time.
Yeah,
and that's absolutely incredible from Marco Morelli, leading after starting further back there on the 3rd row. So absolutely wonderful from him.
Yeah, sorry, I nearly cut across you there, Connor, but Brian Uriarte is sinking. He's behind Hakim Danish and Joel Esteban. He's running in 8th position, I think, at the moment. Joel Esteban there, we can see, was just about to fire it up the inside. There is the 51, just ahead of David Gonzalez. So a miserable start to race 2 for your pole sitter. He is running way back in 7th position, I think. So out front it is Marco Morelli. Amid that, Marco Morelli on the other end of that started on the outside of the 2nd row while he has fired himself into the lead ahead of the Australian Galicia boys. And this is brilliant stuff from the rookie. You see the pink helmet of Jesus Rios ahead of the yellow helmet of Leonardo Zani. The FIM Network XCI Mirror Racing team riders in 4th and 5th.
Unless they've swapped around just to confuse you, Chris.
They've confused me more than once this year. So let's hope that I'll get it right this time.
Absolutely sensational there from these the Australia Galicia team there as well, just to keep the pressure on Marco Morelli, who again on that MLAV machine is just looking sensational here in the opening exchanges in Aragon.
Yeah, phenomenal stuff from Marco Morelli, who has shown plenty of potential this year. He hasn't been on the podium yet, but he has had front rows and 2nd row starts. His 1-lap pace has been pretty good in 2025. Just hasn't managed to turn it into podium success just yet. P5, his best result coming in Magny Cours. In the dry, his best result was Estoril back. That was a P7. So he'll be looking to convert this excellent start into some podium joy, but he's got Rico Salmela all over him. Joel Esteban has moved up into the provisional podium positions ahead of Casey O'Gorman. Leonardo Zani then running in 5th place.
Yeah, just those leading two, Marco Morelli and Rico Salmela, have broken into the 201s so far as well. So a blistering pace being set at the front there. Confirmation that Morelli has moved up 5 positions. Esteban, a sensational 9.
Yeah, Esteban, like, we know his race quality. We've seen him on the Moto3 circuit, the JuniorGP circuit in years gone by, and we know he's a capable rider, more than capable on a Sunday, as he makes a move for second position here ahead of Rico Salmela. Is he going to make it stick Joel Esteban? It looks like he will, but Salmela is going to try and hang it round the outside coming into turn 12, but he won't be able to defend the position, and Joel Esteban now in second position, but feeds into the point. I'm trying to make that Joel Esteban on Sunday is such an excellent rider, and we know this already. We've seen it before, but his qualifying in 2025 has almost been, I don't want to say it's non-existent, but not at the standard we expected of him. He's always back on the 4th row, the 5th row. His victory in Magny-Cours came from back on the 4th row, I think it was. So if he could sort the qualifying out, I think he'll be adding much more silverware to his trophy case back home, because this is once again another excellent ride from deep on the grid.
Yeah, he's obviously no stranger to this class, having previously been in it, but maybe there's just a bit of a transition process, adapting again to a new competition, and we've seen him go from strength to strength after what was a quiet beginning to this 2025 campaign in JuniorGP.
Yeah.
And there we have the fastest lap, 157.6.
He rattles off a 157. The only rider into the 157s is Joel Esteban, so Marco Morelli's got some problems coming his way. In case you needed reminding, Rico Salmela though will try and keep up with the CF Moto Aspar Junior Team rider just ahead of him. Casey O'Gorman then leading the chasing pack. We did see Jesus Rios make a move on O'Gorman few corners ago, but O'Gorman has fought his way back through. Jesus Rios running in 5th position, and for Rios, podium would be great for him, but honestly I think he's got to see the checkered flag here to keep building. He's back 9th in the championship, his 3rd non-point scoring finish of the season already. The other times he has scored points, they've been on the podium, so it's been a real win it or bin it approach, you have to say, for Rios. He does have Leonardo Zanni then in 6th position. Behind him, his teammate, and Zanni has actually gone ahead of him. The number 57 in the pink helmet has moved into 5th position at the expense of Rios. Rios has actually shuffled back down to 7th. Uriarte is on the comeback charge. Brian Uriarte, we haven't mentioned him since the opening lap. Now look at this,
This is drama manifest.
Championship standings. Uriarte will lose the championship lead if things remain as they are now. That's a big if, but Salmela will break the 100-point barrier and take the championship lead if he can hold on to a podium position, and Uriarte does not progress any further. But out front,
done it.
Joel Esteban has taken the lead off Marco Morelli. Here is Uriarte. He is currently 2nd in the championship according to the live standings, but it looks like he is on the charge, having gotten off to a shocking start to race 2 here.
Yeah, shocking start for the 2nd time in quick succession, twice here in Aragón, and it's just not a circuit where he's able to deliver as much as he would want. That's Veda Pratama with the fastest lap of 157.538. He's got ahead of David Gonzalez there, who's not able to make the same kind of inroads as he did in race 1.
Yeah, Brian Uriarte also into the 157s last time around. Only Joel Esteban ahead of him was in the 157s, but Uriarte was quicker, so Uriarte is gaining on the lead group. As we look now, the number 9 of Veda Pratama battling with Hakam Danish. It's Indonesia versus Malaysia, and currently Malaysia have the advantage, with Hakam Danish working his way through on the ATC champion of 2023.
Yeah, tremendous battle between those two as we come down the reverse corkscrew here. It's still Marco Morelli who leads, and he's got the pressure mounting with Joel Esteban there, just breathing down his neck. Yeah. And then, of course, the two Estrella Galicia riders who are in spectacular form at the moment.
Yeah, consistency really key, I think, to winning a championship, and Salmela has displayed plenty of that this season. Hasn't got that breakthrough win just yet, but you do feel it is coming. But as he keeps totting up the podiums and point scoring finishes, it's all adding into a serious title tilt. But out front, Marco Morelli won't be as concerned about his title aspirations, and you would imagine he will go for broke for at least a podium. But having led for so long, you think he might just fancy a victory here. But Joel Esteban peels to the left-hand side, as does Casey O'Gorman, but they both slot in behind. They don't think they're close enough to make a move on Morelli, but O'Gorman does make a move on Esteban coming around the final pair of left-handers. First into 16, now through 17. Joel Esteban, though, is going to have him on the cutback, I think. And there will be some changes going into turn 1. Indeed, Casey O'Gorman's making a play for the lead here. And it's a bunching up here now, and this is going to bring a host of players into the game. Joel Esteban is down in third position, Casey O'Gorman in second, Morelli's holding on to the lead, Leonardo Zani in the pink helmet is in fourth, with Brian Uriarte up into fifth position. Sound the Jaws music, guys. Brian Uriarte is on the comeback charge. Last time around, all those riders, no one dipped into the 157s. I think the quickest of them was Jesus Rios, a 158.3.
Yeah, the slowest was Joel Esteban, in fact, 159.240. I think Uriarte was the biggest winner there, but he's already dropped down into sixth. But we've seen just how important that turn 16, the penultimate corner of this 17-turn track, is going to be. Rico Salmela there.
Oh, what's happened to Rico? He's pushed back down into 10th position. I've missed that.
Yeah, that's going to be really unfortunate, because prior to that I was thinking whether if O'Gorman made a move on him, that would have cost him the at least provisional championship lead. Now he's fallen all the way down into 10th. We'll try and see exactly what happened as soon as possible.
Yeah, Morelli out in front for now. And
one contender fewer for Morelli at the lead.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't count Salmela out. He's just at the back of this group, and there's a long way to go, 8.25 laps. So all that has led, well, Salmela was leading the championship at one point in this race, but now he's 9 behind Uriarte. So Morelli leading the entirety of this lap so far. Will we see a change for the lead? Esteban and O'Gorman pulled out wide last time around. They're trying to break the slipstream behind them, but it's Rios on the inside again. It's a carbon copy of what happened last time around between the front three, but it's O'Gorman who is in second position. He's got the title line. Nobody's able to make a move past Morelli, and it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of chopping and changing coming out of the final corner. But what about coming into turn one, Connor?
Yeah, this could be very interesting. Danish looks very, very interested in making a move here. He's just on the inside there. He's unable to really get ahead of anyone, but he is still leading Uriarte, and that's going to give him a tremendous push to keep going.
Yeah, superb lap from Marco Morelli, it has to be said. We're talking about the riders behind and the threats that are mounting behind him, but the number 97 is putting on a show, racing beyond his years here. With all of the pressure mounting behind him, he's holding firm, holding his mettle. So he's led for now the guts of 2 laps without anybody getting ahead of him. But Joel Esteban has gotten ahead of Casey O'Gorman coming around turn 7. O'Gorman looking to respond, and does indeed respond. But the two of them are still battling for that second position. But it is O'Gorman who holds the advantage coming through the reverse corkscrew and downhill towards the turn 10 left-hander and 11 turn left kink, where they open the throttle once again. Will Esteban get the better drive coming into turn 12? Another overtaking opportunity, and it does look like Esteban is going to have that inside line, and Jesus Rios might add some more problems to O'Gorman. Indeed, it's just going to be Joel Esteban in second position. O'Gorman holds on to third position, with Rios riding in fourth.
Yeah, this is an absolutely incredible battle that's building behind Morelli, who's looked at one point there was building a bit of a gap, but that's already come down. We were talking about just how well he's performing. He's one of just 4 riders in this class to have earned points in every single race, and in a rookie season that's obviously absolutely sensational. And when you're sharing a category with the likes of Salmela, Esteban and Uriarte is the 4th.
Oh, O'Gorman pinched second place back there, but Esteban on the cutback with a brilliant move. But again, nobody can challenge Morelli out front. But you're right, Connor, like it is a category, well, I say nobody can challenge, but the front wheel has definitely been shown by Casey O'Gorman.
Yeah,
is Casey O'Gorman going to make a move? Not quite. Morelli again holding firm out front. Brilliant. It's the Argentina over Ireland over Spain in the top 3. Jesus Rios has been riding in fourth for some time now, but hasn't broken into the top 3. Hasn't made a move yet. Leonardo Zani is about to make a move on Jesus Rios, but nothing going for him just yet.
Yeah, really, at this point, anyone in this leading pack of 10 is just absolutely incredible.
Oh, is this an issue for one of the sick racing riders? Is it Hakim Danish? It is. A huge shame. He was riding in 5th position. He was very much in that podium conversation. He's got an issue, unfortunately, for the Malaysian rider.
Yeah, I wonder what happened there.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll take a look at it shortly when we get an opportunity. But disappointment for Hakim Danish, has to be said. P4 earlier in the day. He won't be picking up any points in race 2 from a promising position. So Marco Morelli, has to be said, absolutely superb start to the race. Battled with Uriarte and battled with a couple of riders, but over the last, 2.5, 3 laps, Joel Esteban made a move on him 3 laps ago. Since then, after retaking the lead, nobody has been able to get past the Argentinian. Super stuff.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And here we do have...
William, can we take a look? Nothing obvious there that I could spot.
No, Gonzalez ahead of Uriarte there's just overtaken the championship leader.
Yeah, so Morelli then leading once again. Will we see any changes here? O'Gorman and Esteban lining up some moves on one another. Esteban, of course, making the move on O'Gorman, but O'Gorman got him on the cutback last time around. Will he get him this time? It doesn't look like it. I think Esteban's going to get the better drive here, and I think Esteban might be about to take the lead as well. Oh, he's not got quite close enough. That wider line has given the better drive to Marco Morelli, but coming into turn 1, are we going to see any changes? Esteban holds on to second position, while it's the FIM Network duo of Rios and Zani in 4th and 5th. So it's as you were pretty much for the last 3 laps coming through turn 1. We're looking down through the timing screen. We see Brian Uriarte is there. We see Veda Pertama, David Gonzalez, and Rico Sarmela, but they haven't been able to get past Leonardo Zani, who is riding a good race in 5th position.
Yeah, Gonzalez and Uriarte have really gone to war over the last 2 laps as well. They're chopping, they're changing, and it could go either way between these two. Gonzalez just falling back a bit there, actually. So that's unfortunate for him. It's great news for Uriarte, though, if this battle can come to an end and he can focus on just chewing up the tarmac in front of him and just trying to get ahead and back into this podium battle.
Absolutely. The race is very much settled into a rhythm here. Nobody's risking it too much. But with, 5.5 laps to go, there is plenty of time for fireworks in this one. We've seen Esteban and O'Gorman make a number of moves on one another. As we look at the back of the pack, it's Rico Sarmela, who is still at the back of this pack. Remember, he was running in the podium positions, but something happened to him going into turn 1, I think it was, and it just hasn't been able to recover. So
he'll be tremendously frustrated. He'd taken the championship lead very briefly for the first time this season. So yeah, he'll be furious. Still, it's very much in contention. This battle is ongoing.
Oh, change for the lead. Finally, Morelli's resistance has been broken. Joel Esteban going into turn 16 makes his move. Does Morelli have anything to respond to the Spaniard who's displaced the Argentinian from number 1? Going into turn 1, Morelli looking for the inside line. He's dropped to the left. He does get his nose ahead again. Now, will Casey O'Gorman try and pounce? But it looks like Morelli's overcommitted a little bit there. Does he lost some of the drive coming through turns 2 and 3? It looks like he might just be okay. So, there we have it. The first signs of a battle out front. After leading for a number of laps, Morelli's first challenger arises, and Joel Esteban showed him a wheel, got ahead, led over the line, but Morelli responded going back into turn 1.
Yeah, he'll be absolutely thrilled with that response. After having led for so long, he looked so calm, so composed, showed real maturity to stay ahead for a couple of laps. And then when the attack came, after Esteban had bided his time, well, he dealt with it in the best way possible, and a couple of corners later, he's back ahead, back in the lead.
Yeah, a number of riders, including Morelli, running it a little bit wide coming out of turn 7, I think it was. But he still holds on to the lead. This is looks like it might just be forming a little bit of a breakaway trio. It seems they're just about to put a couple of bike lengths, but Jesus Rios is hanging in there as Casey O'Gorman makes a move at turn 12 past Joel Esteban.
Oh, he's going to make it stick as well.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from the young Irish rider. P2 in Magny-Cours, P2 this morning, currently in P2, but not for long. Joel Esteban immediately fights back. And here we go, folks. It looks like it's all bubbling. It's been simmering along nicely, but it's about to upgrade, I'd say, to a bubble, shall we say, before we're going to full boiling.
The heat is being turned up here in Aragon, and we've seen that again. O'Gorman just doing battle with Esteban. It's absolutely incredible. Maybe it's the experience that's paying off, but O'Gorman moves into P2 there.
Yeah, O'Gorman striking once again at the final pair of left-handers. Will he lead Esteban coming over the line? It looks like he will. Will he have anything for Morelli coming into turn 1? But here come the FIM Network boys. It looked like they're about to make a move, but indeed it's actually been Brian Uriarte who splits them. It's Leonardo Zanni now who is in 4th position, Brian Uriarte in 5th, and Jesus Rios has been shuffled back into 7th. It looked like the FIM Network XCI Mir Racing team guys were going to make a move on the podium trio, but indeed it was Brian Uriarte who caught Jesus Rios out going into turn 1. Leonardo Zanni pushed himself up to P5, and there's more problems here for Rios as Veda Pratama has the inside line. It looks like Pratama might be about to get that move done.
I do wonder exactly what's happened here with Rios, because there was
Rios
a
has
period
actually
where,
gone further back as well.
Yeah, he was in P4. He looked like he was just maybe a couple of meters behind the leading trio, and then all of a sudden he's falling further and further back.
Yeah, terrible couple of corners for Rios.
He's currently
dropped behind
8th,
Rico Samela, and he's got David Gonzalez swarming over his rear tyre now. Back out front though, no problems for Morelli as of yet. He's still got O'Gorman and Esteban trailing him, but it's Leonardo Zanni now who leads the chasing pack in 4th position. In fact, it looks like there might be a little bit more of a breakaway. A few bike lengths now between Pratama and Brian Uriarte. Brian Uriarte running in 5th, Pratama in 6th. So, have we got a breakaway group? Can Veda Pratama show a little bit of pace to close that gap? We'll bring you lap times next time around. I see Conor Darder eagle-eyed on the timing screen, looking to see what the lap times are coming around. But we're down the back straight right now, and it's Marco Morelli who once again leads. We've seen a couple moves being made on him over the last lap or two, but his resistance has not been broken as of yet. What about now? The Argentinian holds strong, and it looks like there's no move coming from O'Gorman. Esteban settled into 3rd position. Will we see anything into turn 1? I think we will. It looks like Leonardo Zanni's making a move on Esteban, and Uriarte has fired it on the right-hand side. He's got himself up into 3rd position, but for how long? Not very. And indeed, coming through turn 1, it's as you were. But Uriarte looking to make a move past Zanni. As we look a little bit further back, that's Beñat Fernandez, the number 7, who's running in 11th place. So this is the battle for 12th, led by Dodo Baggio.
Yeah, there's action up and down the field here. Absolutely incredible stuff across from all of these riders. But the gap now between Uriarte and Pratama is over a second. It's 1.5 seconds now. So this leading group of 5 ahead here is really breaking away. And it's still Morelli who's leading.
Yeah, Morelli's got a few bike lengths to spare as well, coming through the reverse corkscrew, but Uriarte has finally gotten through on Leonardo Zanni. Esteban has gotten through on O'Gorman, and it looks like it's all about to boil over here in Aragon. Excellent stuff. But it's Morelli now who's really put the hammer down. He's pulling the pin. He's got a couple tenths to Casey O'Gorman and Joel Esteban, and Casey O'Gorman is now out of the podium places as Brian Uriarte. Has he timed this to perfection? It was a tough start to the race for Brian Uriarte. He's looking to bounce back from disappointment in race 1, and he's doing so in style. He's now gotten up the inside. He is on the charge here, Brian Uriarte. He sees Marco Morelli opening up a gap. Uriarte wasting no time. He's battling his way past Joel Esteban. Esteban putting up a good fight, but I don't think it's going to be enough. As we see, we lose one of the riders further back. That's Lucas Brown, unfortunately, who has recorded DNF. But back out front, it's Morelli, Uriarte, Esteban, but O'Gorman now up the inside of Esteban and takes the podium position off him. Who will have it coming through the line? Esteban has managed to fight back at the latter half of that sweeping left double left-hander.
This comeback from Uriarte is absolutely sensational. It's completely unexpected, and now he's going, and there we can see his team just tearing on Marco Morelli as he leads, but the action is unfolding behind him. He does have a good amount of gap there. It's just under 0.4 of a second, but this is really heating up here.
Oh,
We've had a crash there for David Gonzalez.
Disappointment for Gonzalez. He was putting in a good show, but it's going to be 0 points earned from his efforts today. Let's have a look at what is happening at the front. Marco Morelli still brilliantly leading this race. Brilliant stuff from the Argentinian rookie of the MLAV Racing squad. But Brian Uriarte is on the charge. He didn't have the best of starts, the pole sitter, but now he is coming into his own with what, a lap and a half remaining. He is applying the pressure. He was running in 6th, 7th, 8th position through the majority of this race, but over the last 2 laps, he has cut his way through the pack. Casey O'Gorman in 3rd position. He has Joel Esteban, Leonardo Zani, Rico Samela and Jesus Rios chasing him down. Jesus Rios though looks a little bit detached from the group. But back out front, we have to keep an eye on Marco Morelli and Brian Uriarte. The gap is coming down. It's 0.3 of a second as we come into the final sector. Just over a lap remaining then, Connor. Which way is this going to go?
Oh, it's impossible to tell. A word there for Rico Salmela, who we saw had some kind of incident earlier, fell down to P10 at one point, and now he's ploughing through the field. He's on the end of this leading group in P6, and there is Uriarte. What a move, and where's it coming once again at turn 16?
Yeah, that 72 Artbox machine is a rocket down the back straight. We saw him pin it on the outside to get himself into podium places, and now he leads for the first time in this race, the pole sitter. It's Brian Uriarte, the championship leader, with Marco Morelli. What does Morelli have in response for the 51? Casey O'Gorman, on the other hand, is looking at P3, but is he going to get himself into P2? Rico Samela is not been off the podium in 2025. He's running in 4th position, and he's just posted a 1:57.1, the fastest lap of the race, and by far the quickest rider of the top 4. Morelli takes the lead back on the last lap, Connor. Oh, brilliant stuff from the Argentinian. We've got a surprise and a real battle on our hands here. It's Morelli who leads over Uriarte. O'Gorman and Salmela are going to battle for that last podium position.
Yeah, this could go either way. Those two Estrella Galicia machines battling it out for that last spot, but they could easily find their way further forward. O'Gorman just looking back, seeing where his teammate Salmela is, because everyone involved here could finish up on the podium and maybe even on the top step. This battle at the front is still Morelli for the time being as we come down the corkscrew.
Yeah, brilliant stuff all around in the Junior GP category. So this is it. Race 2. We enter the all-important back end of the Aragón circuit. It's Morelli who leads Uriarte. Then it's O'Gorman. Then it's Salmela. All 4 in chance with victory. We've also got Joel Estabano and Leonardo Zani who'll be there to mop up the pieces of any potential mistakes. Through 14 we go. Flick it right, then left.
Rios has really dropped off here as well. He'll be frustrated not to be forming part of this leading group. But on the back straight, it is Morelli for the time being.
Yeah, Morelli then, will he lead? He's done it so well all race. He's leading coming into the final pair of left-handers, but look at that rocket that is Brian Uriarte. And Uriarte's taken a really, really tight line there. Uriarte does take the lead, and O'Gorman's moved into 2nd, and Morelli is now in 3rd. Salmela's going to take the last podium position off him, is he? He's going to look for the cutback, but Uriarte's got the win sewn up, unless O'Gorman had something special over the line. It's Uriarte, it's O'Gorman, then Morelli. What a race. What a brilliant bit of racing from Brian Uriarte at the very end. Uriarte, it looked like Morelli was going to lead coming into those final pair of corners, but the rocket launch, the rocket ship that is Brian Uriarte, fires it up, takes the advantage, and Morelli, having led for so long, has to settle for P3. He will be happy with that, a first podium in the class for the Argentinian, but it could have been more.
It could have been more, and that will be hard to take for the MLab Racing rider. But Uriarte, what happened? He just clicked at one point. Look at him there with the wheelie, and suddenly decided, right, I'm going to win this race. And that is exactly what he did. He opened the throttle and just tore apart the opposition. I mean, what a battle we had on our hands over the last couple of laps there once Uriarte decided that he was going to try and go for it. And here we do have the solemn reminder of what happened with the loss of Paolo Alsina, the riders picking up flags just to pay homage to the late rider in Junior GP.
Yeah, a touching tribute across all classes today to the late rider who unfortunately passed away during a track day last weekend. But Brian Uriarte is back on the top step of 4th victory of the campaign for the Spanish superstar in the making. And what a way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. I mean, he'd struggled to recover in race 1. Obviously, he didn't have a great time in Magny Cours either, and then all of a sudden here, Brian Uriarte reminding everyone why he is the championship leader, especially after our graphics team had just put up the live championship, which saw Salmela briefly take the lead.
Yeah, disappointment for Salmela. He was in that podium battle, and then Not 100% sure what happened to him. We missed it, but he dropped from the top 3 down into 10th position. Managed to fight his way back up to 4th, but it's unfortunately for Salmela the first time he finishes off the podium in 2025. But it is still 13 crucial points in his championship charge. He does lose some ground though to Brian Uriarte. Well, Marco Morelli, well, you'd have to say if you offered him a podium ahead of the weekend, he probably would have snapped your hands off at the opportunity as he'd run out of fuel by the looks of things. However, it is a first podium, but it could have been more. He did so much of the front running, the Argentinian rider, and he did brilliantly to deny the likes of Esteban, O'Gorman, Uriarte and Rico Salmela, to deny them during the race and maintain a lead. Unfortunately, he just couldn't hold on at that last corner against Brian Uriarte. But what a showing it is from the Spanish sensation Uriarte, your championship leader. He'll wheel his way around towards Parc Fermé in pit lane now. Big celebrations, of course, for the UAX 72 Artbox team. What a day for Casey O'Gorman as well. Back to back to back P2s. Double podium in Aragon, adding to the one he picked up in Magny Corps. Moves up to